would just become addicted to the fashion magazines.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of my outlet. And so then I had to really understand as I started getting dressed.
Not too long ago, I had the pleasure of interviewing a Dallas stylist by the name of Ashley Boucher. She welcomed Micah and I into her office, and we instantly fell in love with her upbeat personality and, of course, her fabulous sense of style. It's not easy to become so successful at such a young age, and it was great that she was willing to share this part of her life with us.
Still has these, but I kept a journal every day of what I wore to school.
Oh my God.
And so I have jewelry, shoes, every detail. That's what I would do in first period. Yeah. And best dress was definitely my goal every year. So traveling internationally is my biggest, if you ever have the or not even internationally, just traveling in general, just experiencing, the air and the wind on the difference of the coast, or being, able to breathe in the mountains of Colorado, and just, taking a step out of your daily norm and just having fresh eyes on a fresh scenery. You really learn so much about yourself, as well as for me, I pick up that's where I get most of my inspiration from, is the different textures and the different tactiles. And, you can feel when you're on the coast, the sand, curling your hair, and just that natural sea salt. And those are the things that I'm really moved by and inspired by. And so, having the opportunity to go international and take that one step further, I was continuously put outside my comfort zone because I didn't know the language, I didn't know the culture, I didn't know the people, I didn't know, the currency. I was able to have exposure to the entire supply chain of the fashion industry. And, just seeing the product development, the trend forecasting, the fabric, the textiles of it, and the manufacturing side, and then the retail side, all of the angles. I was there for about 6 weeks.
Okay.
So just all the different angles, I really took to the aspect of styling for the website. So we were working with Fossil at the time. For me, I really kind of felt globalization on a real perspective, and was wow, Texas is, even though I traveled a bunch growing up, it was Texas, there's so much more out there for us. And, there's just the fashions and the street style there, and just the hustle and bustle and the energy of traveling abroad. I really take a lot away. And I'll, maybe pick up right now, they're having Asia is having their fashion month. And so all the really trim style trousers and the longer jackets. And, when I was getting dressed yesterday, I was finding myself gearing more towards those. And so it's really interesting now. You can kind of travel with Periscope and with social media without even having to go to those places. I always look to my clients' moods when I dress them, and their personality is most important for me to bring out, and their personal style. Whether I take an appointment with a client in their home would be my preference, because you can pick up on little things like, do they have artwork in their house? Do they have family photos? Are there, things from travels? And you can just kind of get to know the person and who they are on, less than a surface level basis.
Right.
And so it's about, for me, really kind of understanding who that person is as an individual, and then showcasing that. A day-to-day client is always different. It's, having a personal shopper that is comparative, I would say, to Trunk Club and things like that, but on a luxury level, because it's so much more one-on-one and private. I really am able to cater my services to the client. So if the client contacts me and they're like, hey, I have not done any marketing, so it's been all word of mouth. So typically they're like, I saw you speak at blah, 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 or so-and-so worked with you, and I have to have whatever she has, or, something along those lines. And so I go hopefully to their home, so I can just initially right off the bat get a feel for who they are. And then we just kind of sit down and have a casual conversation like this. And I'll ask them silly questions like, what's your favorite karaoke song? And if they say, oh my gosh, you would never find me up there on karaoke, in my mind, I know, don't give this woman, a low plunging blouse or super bedazzled, bright colored neon clothes because she's probably a little bit more reserved. And I just like to ease them. You know, I think what's really benefited me is that I came into this with curves and I was a real woman. And so when someone hires a personal shopper, I think a lot of times they're expecting Rachel Zoe to walk in.
Yeah.
And then I walk in and they're like, I feel this like sense of fresh air and like just breathing come over. And so, you know, we just sit down and I let them get to know me and they get to know, you know, we get to know each other. And then I take it into their closet and I just flip through everything. And it's like a closet analysis. And we will say, you know, I go through all of their clothes and I say, keep, like, oh, this looks a little tired. You know, maybe let's put this on our list of things to replace, but I'm going to go ahead and set it over here because I don't want to get rid of it until I have replaced it. You know, let's alter this, or like, please don't ever wear this again. Like, it's going away. Infuse things such as tactile jewelry. So using scarf for women or pocket squares and lapel accents for men have been really big recently. Jewelry is a really big way to kind of give yourself a statement. I think that statement pieces are a really fun way to kind of elevate a look, but I like to steer my clients away from the typical things such as that bobble bar and things like that. Even though they're great pieces, it's just kind of stamps you as one person, whereas a really amazing pendant that I find at like the Nasher Sculpture Art Museum kind of gift shop. Like I love to shop at art gift shops for clients' jewelry and just try to find like unique ways to bring themselves to the surface. I would say no to that. I don't have a set age range either because, you know, now with the corporate world and the entrepreneurs and so many people just working on their own, you see more of individuals taking care of their personal self and interest in their personal style at a younger age. And a lot of times people now are getting out of college and they may be going into the corporate world and they have been wearing sorority shirts and Nike shorts every single day to school. And so they're like, well, what the hell am I supposed to put on my body? And you can't just walk into Ann Taylor or, you know, L.A. Tahari and purchase a suit off the rack and like, it's good to go. Now you have to have layers and you have to have the proper tuck and you have to have the right cut of jacket. And there's just so many more elements to play with. It can be really overwhelming. And so I would say that just because of my price point, I capture an older audience, and I would say my like median range would probably be about 38. Okay. I'm $150 an hour is my going rate. So when someone has kind of seeked me out on their own and has put in the courage to pick up that phone, because I mean, it's an emotional process for people. We are completely developing and transforming their look for them. And a lot of times people are going through, you know, either a marriage or a divorce or a new job or a new baby, or they're not going through anything and they need something to bring them life. And so, you know, it's a really emotional aspect what we're doing. So once people pick up that phone to call me, typically if we feel the connection, like the client and myself, because styling is so personal. You know, I've had clients where I literally have like gone rid of every single thing in their closet.
Really?
Yeah. Like, walked out and said, okay, there's like nothing left in here, like shoes, jackets, clothes, like everything. It's just has to go. And typically it's people who, definitely my East Coast clients, like the New York clients, Washington, D.C. clients, because their spaces are smaller, so they have less clothes. And they just wear it to death, and they'll like travel, and they'll be very, you know, they're like right at that 33, 35 age, and they're finally to a place in their career where they're excited, they're feeling like power, they're going to be, you know, moving into a new promotion fairly soon, and like nothing is worthy anymore, and it's just like tired and it's worn, and we just need it all fresh. And so that's really fun. I make kind of like a game plan and say, okay, this is what we need, this is her lifestyle, this is who she is, and then I go to the stores and I shop by myself, and I will go to about 10 stores, and if it's an out of like state, because I shop nationwide with my clients, I actually bring all the clothes from Dallas because my relationships are here.
Right.
So I would say about 20% of the shopping for my clients is done online and the rest is in store. If it's an in Dallas client, then usually the 24 hours later, the next day, we'll go to the stores and all the fitting rooms are set up and they just walk in and it's beautiful and it's easy and I have everything prepared for them, and so they don't even have to hit the retail floor. All the stores that I shop with are just so lovely to me, and if it's a Saturday morning, they'll have like champagne or things and just make it really special and fun. Because trying on clothes can be exhausting and hard.
Definitely.
And so I really try to only take my clients to about 4 clothing stores and 1 shoe store, and then everything else from the other stores I bring in on approval, and so we try it on in other locations. And then after that, they have all this beautiful new clothes, and they're like, what the heck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And so we will do like a style day, and so I style all the looks for my clients, and they actually get a virtual closet. So it's really fun because I can be working with a client in DC and get a call from a client in California, and they can say, I have to get on a plane to London tomorrow, what should I wear? And I can virtually pack them. And
so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's been a really fun addition to our company. It's been around for about a year now. And so I have access to all of my clients' closets on my computer, my phone, my iPad, as well as they have access to their closet on.
So do you have like an app for it?
I do.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So it's really fun.
Convenient.
It's super convenient, and it's what a lot of my clients have turned into those one-time clients into repeat clients, because for the clients that cannot afford to work with me at this extreme level, and maybe they have a small budget but want the merchandise, then I can just online shop, and I can do that from my couch or from the beach or wherever, and fill their virtual closet with all this merchandise that I suggest, and we can comment back and forth on it, and then they can purchase it, and it goes directly into their virtual closet, and then I can style it for them with the pieces they already have in the closet. So it's an amazing tool. I also use it for speaking engagements. So I'll create like shoppable catalogs based off of the knowledge and the information when I go to like the corporate events.
Oh, nice.
So I would say confidence is number one when dressing any client. So taking them out of their comfort zone, it has to be calculated for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna push someone to try something on that, unless they've been a client for like season after season, and I'm just feeling it, and I'm feeling daring, and I'm like, put this leather pencil skirt on because I really think you're gonna rock it. But trust is really important to me, and I want my clients to be able to trust my opinion and trust what I say. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my goodness, that is horrible. Please take that off right now. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was wrong. And but it's okay. Like, it's fun and it's fashion, and I feel like that is what I get kind of trumped on some days, and I just have to take a deep breath and remind myself is that although this is people's confidence and it's people's, appearance and it's their looks and their money and like their time, and they're putting a lot, which now that I'm saying it like that, I'm kind of like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. But at the end of the day, it's fashion and it's clothes, and just if I have fun with it and I am kind and honest and genuine, and I really truly take time to like understand my client, not even understand like what they need as a style, like for clothing, but also on the back end of it, like who they are, what their lifestyle is, and then I just put in my efforts and my research and knowledge to deliver it to them, they're pretty much willing to put on anything that I say. As a stylist, when you get those messages from clients and they're like the elevator selfies or like the mirror pics in the morning, and they're like, always trust Ashley, like the stylist is right. It's like this warm feeling inside that you just want to explode out of you. When I'm like dressing my clients, I always tell them, I don't want you to walk in and someone be like, what? Where did you get that, jacket? I want them to be like, damn, she looks good. Wait a second, where did she get that jacket? Or where did she get those shoes? I want it to be the package as a whole, and like the woman or the man package, like Jackie Kennedy is a great representation of that. Every time she would, you know, be up for an appearance or would be, you know, standing next to her husband on stage, like she definitely had a unique style, but no one would ever be like, I wonder what hat she's gonna wear. Like it was always about the whole package. And that's really important, I think, in developing your aesthetic as, you know, a woman, whether it's for your career or for your personal style. I think that it's just important to know who you are as an individual. Like to capture your own style is such a luxury and such a fantasy, and it's, you know, it's definitely doable. And so I think that, you know, that's really important for me to instill in my clients, and also to like bring out of them.
Yeah.
The men just want me to do it for them, and they're like kind of lazy about it, and they just want the clothes to magically appear in their closet, fit them perfectly, and like them get dressed.
Right.
The women, they definitely are like more interested in learning and like dressing and understanding the layers. It's not harder. Men are so easy. Like they're boys. Yes. No, they're not. They're really not. I mean, you have to know your stuff. If you're working with men, you have to know like the tailoring, you have to know the pleats, you have to know like the cuffs. It's more detail oriented for sure. And they're so picky and they're like, you know, going like this, like I can't move. And I'm like, well, why are you trying to move like that in your suit jacket? Like sit properly. And, you know, they want comfort and like breathable, but then they're sweating, and, you know, they are babies and they complain definitely way more than women. But like I said, they really just want you to do it for them. Like they love a woman's perspective, and they want to know that they look good to a woman. But then there's people who are trying to be people pleasers, and I think that I was definitely one of those people, and I was just always so good at reading what people wanted and then delivering it to them. And I and myself kind of like lost who I was a little bit. And so, you know, I like had to take a little sabbatical and just kind of like recenter myself and realize, okay, why am I doing this? Like, who do I want to help? What is my purpose? Like, what do I love about styling truly? And then to deliver it. I don't really think that success can come when your focus is on money. Money, I like to do fun things. I like to wear nice clothes. Like money, you have to have it in this world, unfortunately. But it's never has been about that for me. It's always been about like the woman and the individual and just bringing out her self-confidence. And I just feel so blessed to understand like a woman's figure and the proportions of the clothes. And don't move too quickly. But I'm going to contradict that and say, like, go fast because I love how young I am and how much that I've done. So I think those first 2 years were crucial, saying yes to everything. And, like, reading is huge. I think journaling has been a really big aspect of my life. And, like, finding things that are important to you as an individual and, like, not letting that go, and then developing your professional world around management. Like, I read a quote the other day that, you know, a man that wastes 20 minutes doesn't know the value of time. And like now with social media, like I can sit there aimlessly scrolling through my phone for an hour, and I like look at the clock and I'm like, holy shit, like I just screenshotted like 50 things, but like what did that hour just do, you know? And I think that's a contradicting feeling, because that's our world, and like we're moving into this social media like bubble, and like we're never gonna be able to get out of it if we don't like try and like put in some air holes. Just take risks. Like nothing happens without taking risks. And you know, people always ask me like, well, weren't you scared? Like, weren't, you know, whenever you're starting your business, like, and you have to be fearless. Like success comes from fearlessness.